Welcome back to AI for the Humanities. I'm Megan McInnes Dominguez, Associate Professor of Spanish at the University of Delaware. This channel is your go-to resource for the intersection of generative AI and the humanities. In this episode, we're joined by Victoria Pizurro, a mechanical engineering major with minors in computer science, math, and Spanish. Victoria's unique mix of STEM and the humanities gives her a valuable perspective on the latest AI technologies. Today, Victoria will explore Meta's Llama, an open-source language model with several versions, ranging from 70 billion to 405 billion parameters. She'll discuss how the model was developed, its strengths in social media contexts, and the community-driven development enabled through GitHub. Victoria will also provide a live demonstration showing how prompt engineering affects responses and highlight the strengths and limitations of using Llama 3.1 and 3.2 across different social media platforms.
Hi everyone, welcome to my first ever video in the AI and the Humanities YouTube channel for University of Delaware. My name is Victoria Pizurro. I am currently a sophomore at UD studying mechanical engineering. I also have minors in computer science, math, and Spanish. So I'm extremely interested in this internship as well as working closely with AI because I think that AI is extremely important in today's society as we move towards technological advancements that are so very prevalent in the 21st century. And I think that it is extremely useful tool for everyday living. This includes just making life easier, making small tasks easier, and as the digital age increases, we also as humans and people need to increase and advance along with it. Today I'm specifically going to be talking about Meta's AI and its multiple different levels. So Meta has implemented itself into many different facets of everyday life. It is at the most base level. It is the AI assistant in Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, all of the apps that are being used every day by the entire world. It's the AI assistant in there that you can ask it to do many different things, such as make a picture of yourself, make a GIF, make a plan of a list of things that you need to do, tell you about a future job, how to interview for it, how to do stuff like that. Just basic stuff that, ChatGPT can do and other stuff like that. But Meta is more focused on following instructions, whereas ChatGPT is more trying to look at the whole picture and having those responses be extremely quick. So Meta has developed many versions of itself. So the most recent version is Llama 3.2. Meta is an open source code AI, so that means that anyone within the coding community can request access, and via GitHub they can download it to their own repository and be able to edit it. And Meta really focuses on community-based and how AI can be an improvement to everyone's lives and not just be understood by a few scientists or people that create this AI, but also everybody can be a part of it and make it better. So something that's really cool about Meta, that's one of its many perks, is that you can actually work on it and improve it, and that's why they have so many different versions of it, because it's constantly getting improved by everyone who has interest in AI and also has the experience to make it better. This 3.2 is obviously more advanced than all of the other versions. It has a more multimodal aspect, so it can do now more like imaging and videos and also speaking tasks and things like that, and also has improved in its other forms of being able to handle large documents. It can now handle graphs and other visuals like that in articles that you feed the AI. The actual development of Meta, so as I said, it's open source code, and basically how it works is that AI kind of has a bunch of different bytes, which is also like parameters, and it basically tries to mimic how the brain works. So, we have all of these like variables inside of our head and how our brain works, and how we have a prompt will respond with this just because of how we're programmed. So it's basically like that. So Meta has many different versions of Llama 3.1, 3.2, stuff like that, based on the amount of bytes that it works off of. So basically the amount of bytes is the amount of parameters. So obviously as you increase the parameters, you increase in the complexity of the AI and how it responds and how it responds to different prompts and things like that. So the second to latest version is Llama 3.1. They was all the rave. It had a 70 byte and also 405 byte version. So this 405 byte version, the way to think about it is basically like a like F1 racing car engine inside like a tiny like Volkswagen Beetle. Like, you need to have an insane amount of computing power to be able to use this. So, but it obviously has extremely more complex uses and also just runs completely faster, but it does take up a lot of space. So the 405 byte version of Meta's Llama 3.1 can handle a lot more complex things, like I just said. So general knowledge questions, long-form text generation, multilingual translation, coding, math, tool use, advanced reasoning, synthetic data generation, and model distillation. So all of these complex tasks can be done because of its large parameter size, making it ideal for research and enterprise level applications where high performance is needed across various domains. So as I said, it has high performance in multiple areas. It has a large context window. It has multilingual capabilities, so it can translate from one language to another along with long documents, and also can be used for data generation and just other such complex tasks. Most recent news about Meta was that they released a Llama 3.2 version. So this version comes in more bite-sized chunks. So they have lower byte versions that can be utilized on a mobile device, such as like the Meta AI assistants, but also just using it on your phone, probably like on like Safari or something like that. And then they also have 1 byte and 3 byte, which are lightweight text-only models. And as I said before, they're trying to obviously keep up with competition in advance to be more multimodal. So being able to handle different kinds of inputs, such as like articles, but also being able to output imaging and more complex responses, and also focusing more on the quality, not the quantity of the responses, because with AI, obviously, if you input something, it's not a human, you know, they're programmed by humans, so they have mistakes and things like that where they don't respond in the right way, or it's just off. So some pros for Meta is that they are an open source code AI or LLM. So this means that the community can work on it. It's more like community based, and also just is able to be developed by other people. And by being developed by other people, it means that it caters more to what people actually want from this AI, which I think is really cool and important. It's also compatible across a lot of social media platforms. So in the digital age, we are all on social media. We all have at least an Instagram account, a Facebook account, if not WhatsApp and Snapchat, and use them at least for an hour every single day. So having that compatibility with those kinds of apps, and also being that AI that is within it, is really important. And I think it shows how well it's being used, and also how well that like the community is working with it. Also, for the humanities, it's also really nice for long documents. I know that ChatGPT, when I have tried to use it for some of my Spanish classes, for my literature classes, those required me to, you know, input maybe some longer articles or poems or things like that. And because of its limitations, it wasn't able to process all of it, and even sometimes would come up with endings and things that it didn't have, just so it could give you an answer. So what's really nice about Meta is that these versions that are increasingly becoming more complex and able to handle longer documents are also now able to handle graphs and visuals and other such captioning and things like that make it a lot easier for the AI to understand and grasp the entire context of the document that you were giving it, and also is able to analyze it better because it has better parameters and also just better code. And I mean, it makes it so much easier for the humanities. You know, humanities is a lot of reading, a lot of this, you know, a lot of understanding and analyzing, and some of that is really difficult, especially if you're learning a new language, as I did. I was learning Spanish, and there were these long poems from the 1800s that I had no idea what they were saying sometimes, and it was just so awesome that I was able to be introduced to AI and to use it as a tool for the humanities. It was really, really cool. One con, though, is that as of right now, it's not 100% trustworthy in its responses. I mean, this can go for many different LLMs and like ChatGPT isn't reliable, Gemini isn't reliable, all the other things. But for right now, it's different from other AIs because it, instead of focusing on how qualitative the information it's giving, it focuses more on how informative and helpful it can be. So instead of giving a very high quality response, it's more of quantity of response and how well it can follow instructions, and based off of those instructions give a long and detailed answer. And so within that, you lose a little bit of its trust, because sometimes it can be misleading or use like false or inappropriate responses to the task that you had given it. So that's also something to like look out for. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate a little bit about a special use case. So I'm personally going to show how the Meta AI assistant is integrated into my Instagram account and how I can use it. And so I can just demonstrate how it can be used in a social setting. Hey, so I'm just going to show you guys a little bit about how Meta's AI has been implemented into everyday social media. So this is me on my Instagram account. I just created a chat with Meta AI. So you go here and you search up Meta AI, start a chat. So I started doing just some general prompts. Over here, I said, make me a plan to study for my Calc 4 exam or class. Today I did a little make me a plan to gain 10,000 followers. So it gives me a 12-week plan to gain the followers, how to set my goals. So this is kind of building on the fact that I said that Meta really focuses on how it can be informative and how it can follow instructions. Not really focusing on the quality of their responses, but more as to be extremely adherent to the actual prompt given. So, and then to the multimodal stuff, I said, imagine me as a dragon. So I just had to add a couple pictures of myself. It said, and this is the outcome. So I look very mythical here. So this obviously is just an everyday stuff, but also they have a thing called AI Studio, so you can make your own AI characters. I can say create an AI. So I can create my own AI character based off the characteristics that I want it to have. And if you just go to www.meta.ai, you get brought to their general page where you can log in with your Instagram and Facebook. So I'm going to log in with my Instagram. So here, now I can do the same thing, create an AI character, help me change a tire, imagine an image. It can do literally anything, help me with an assignment. So this is when prompt engineering comes into play. You have to feed it the right prompt to get the answers that you want to get back. So say if I needed help with homework, instead of just saying like, help me with my Calc 3 homework, it's going to give me a bunch of responses, but it doesn't know what topic it is, any relevant problems that I'm working on. But for the prompt engineering, you need to prime it so that it has that availability. So, and also once you log in, it has a recording of all of your chats, so it gets saved once you logged in. So you can go back to every single conversation that you've had if you wanna go back and use it. So yeah. So on the same website, I just wanted to show a little bit of a specific use case just to demonstrate its basic powers. Like I just said, that you can do a bunch of things with it, like you can do with any sort of AI, but I also wanted to demonstrate a more humanities approach. So I just searched up a poem by Federico Garcia Lorca that was an ode to Salvador Dali, right? So I'm gonna copy and paste that, and I'm gonna say like, analyze this poem for me. So, and even though it was an not insanely long, but pretty long poem, it still is going to give me that structure and style, themes, Dali's portrayal. It knows what kind of poem it is. It gives us historical context. So this is something that is really important for when we're looking into the AI and the humanities. This is just one example of the power that it can do. But yeah, this is mainly like what the context of this AI can do. And in my next video, I'm going to be demonstrating a more specific use case where I'll probably be downloading one of the higher byte versions because I have the computing power for it. I want to be able to demonstrate how this Meta AI can be used in a higher capacity, and also how it can be used for students, how it can be used for professors, and all of the above. So yeah, I hope this helps for everyone. So I'm just going to wrap up the video with some basic points and a little summary of what I just said. So this video was about Meta AI. I talked about the second to latest and the latest versions, which are 3.1 and 3.2, with all their different byte versions and how that stuff works with parameters. I also talked a little bit about the pros and cons of Meta's AI, how it's an open source code, and they also have all these different byte versions, but also it's not extremely complex and fine-tuned to the quality of the responses, but catered more towards the informative side of it. So also Meta's AI is really important in everyday life. It has its implications in Instagram, in Snapchat, and WhatsApp, and Facebook, and all of those apps that we use daily. So I think it's extremely important. I'm really excited to be working with this AI and to continue to see how it develops. Make sure to like this video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and also hit that subscribe button. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria, for your comprehensive overview of Meta's Llama. One of the key takeaways is the significance of Llama as an open source model, which allows for community-driven development and continuous improvement. This open source nature provides opportunities for learning and innovation, but also presents challenges, such as the potential for misuse or misinformation. Victoria's perspective highlights how students are already interacting with these tools and how they envision incorporating them into their studies, guiding us professors in effectively integrating AI into the classroom to foster responsible and informed usage. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell as well. Until next time.
Victoria's here with